consideration.
Okay. Is there any education society for the students to get the training over there, and what are the levels of training is recommended for to come into this particular sector? Is there any academic marks required for them to, because somebody will be expert in the strength of materials or some structural analysis, somebody may be expert in the construction management or quantity survey. Every student is having a different strengths. Which are the core areas they can come into the picture, according to you?
So the best thing the students need to do is, you asked me about
academic,
where
they can get the training.
So currently in the Indian market, when we say physical spaces for BIM education is very less.
Okay.
There are only very few institutes which teach BIM in the Indian market.
Okay.
And there are only very few of these who really understand BIM. That's the first thing.
Okay. Because awareness is not there, or how it
because when I say BIM, it's evolving from past 1 decade in a huge way, and there are so many tools in each, and if you take in a month period of time, there are so many tools evolving and so many plugins coming in.
Yeah.
And there are very few education providers in terms of BIM understand all these things, and maybe there are just few people are teaching only on BIM tools, and when I say even BIM tools, they are teaching only on some of the modeling tools or for cost estimation or planning. So this sets a drawback, this is one of the drawback for the students. So if it's a civil engineer, so he is forced to, if he want to learn BIM, then he's still forced to learn modeling.
Yeah.
And the modeling is done by an architect or a mechanical or electrical.
You are right. This is an eye opener for the students because they are not aware of.
Yeah. So it's something like the architect gets 5 years of education to know how the building need to be planned and designed. Civil engineer gets an education how to get that into reality on the construction side. But still, if you say he like to get some skills from BIM, then he is forced to do the modeling. Where what he does is he just take the 2D drawings given from other architects, and he just build the model from that. And that's not the real education on BIM need to be given for different department. If I say civil engineer, he need to know about how we use BIM for construction stage.
Yeah.
So in terms of this type of education, there are very few institutes providing BIM education. In terms of university level, then there are few universities like IT Delhi, IT Madras, and some of the architecture institutes like School of Planning and Architecture and Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, and few institutes from the industry side. They have started some initiatives to have kind of BIM education given. So, is
there any institute in Bangalore or Chennai or somewhere where the student, because what you are telling, the universities and all, they have to take their full-time course over there. I am thinking of something for short-term course they can enter. Already they have spent their 4 years in the graduation. They need some exposure to this, and they can get into the jobs. Okay. Not everyone, all the students are affordable to go for the higher education, and that's that.
So when I say about education, education related to BIM is delivered by different players. When I say different players, it's about the people who design the tools like Autodesk, Graphisoft, Bentley. So they have opened up their own schools. Like, for example, if I say Bentley have their BIM Advanced Academy.
Where it is located?
I think they have different. One office is in Pune, and if I say Autodesk, they have online Autodesk University.
Okay.
And every institute have their own training programs for their tools. That's one area, and other one is the industry players. So industry players, what they do is they understand what is the requirement for any particular project. Then they have some initiatives.
Based on the project, they will train.
They want to educate the students on the same requirement. So they have some initiatives to educate the students on the training programs. And in terms of universities, as I've already said, there are few IITs and few like RSCS or some of the small startups which want to educate students on BIM. But for current market, I suggest them to try with the online programs, which is provided from the global market players. Like I can name few of them, like Zigurat, Global Institute of Technology is one of the global BIM BIM educator.
Okay.
And they're really doing good in the market. They have students almost from 40 to 45 countries by now. And the way they educate is something like you will be inviting students and the industry members from different countries and different departments and different locations, different experience levels, and work on particular project and to deliver as per the standard requirement. And you will be working on different BIM applications. When I say BIM, it's not just for modeling or for planning or estimation. So BIM has several uses for the project life cycle. So as per the R&D work which we have done, I can say there are more than 75 BIM users for the project life cycle. So these are BIM users like if there is any client and then he's asking the contractors saying that, hey, look here, these are the BIM users which you need to deliver to me during the project life cycle, and this would be the deliverables, and these are the tools you need to use, and these are the stakeholders need to be involved in the project, and this is the level of detail the deliverables we are expecting at. So this level of details is given for the members. So I believe that providing education on these aspects would be very much close to the industry requirements.
Okay. Thanks. And finally, one small thing. What is your take today? More engineers are not employable, and the college is also facing the difficulty, and the industry requires people, but they are not. Whoever goes to the job or employment, who maybe a topper or anything, but they are not able to cope up as per the industry requirement. What is your take on that? What students has to do, what colleges has to do, what industry has to do as a whole?
Yeah, it's a chain link.
Yeah, it's a chain link.
So when I say about players in BIM, we categorize them as three types. One is policy makers, another one is technology players, and another one is process players. When you say about industry, they all fall into the process, and technology is the software developers and software users. And for policies are the academic institutes and the government agencies. So when we say driving BIM in the market, there is a need for input from all these three different players. And in terms of industry in the Indian market, there are very few companies in the construction and FM who really understand BIM and they can be competitive in the global market. In terms of BIM for design, I think there are many companies in Indian market who can deliver BIM solutions, because when I say BIM in India, it's a BIM factory, and most of these companies have evolved based on the clients from the global market. So the clients in the global market say, this is the BIM model you need to generate to me and at this level of detail. And so with this kind of evolution, we have a very good number of BIM service providers in the design stage. But in terms of construction and FM, we still need to equip to be competitive in the global market. That's the first thing with the industry players. And coming to the academic institutes, there are only very few countable number of institutes providing BIM education as per the requirement, and it's very much essential to add some courses to this curriculum, or bring all so that we can bring different students from different departments and make them understand who are the players you will be working in the market for actual projects, so that they need to understand and coordinate between these people. So, and also in terms of education, policy makers. So when we say policy makers, it's mainly for the client. So the client need to realize what is the benefit of BIM. So once the client understands the benefits of BIM, then he will say, hey, look, I need you to deliver the project with BIM technology and process adopted and following this set of guidelines. Then the industry will change on its own to deliver that project. And then once the industry has shifted to that area, then the academia need to shift on the same area, saying that, okay, this is the industry requirement, I need to deliver this kind of education. So it's all interlinked, and each of these people need to understand the basic requirements of BIM. And what's happening in the Indian market in terms of jobs, let me say this one.
Yeah.
So most of the students, because I'm into society and I get too many inquiries every day, and they say, sir, I like to learn BIM. I see that this is the basic requirement for the market, but how do I start with it? And some people say, I'm a civil engineer, I'm an architect, some is a mechanical. So he said that I was asked to study Revit, or I was used to asked to study some of these tools, and will it really help me? And most of these people will just jump into this kind of education because it's a big market and it's a democratic, and people say, hey, look, I'm teaching BIM, and you come to me and I will help you to get into the market. But first thing is, these people need to understand what exactly they are educating to the students. And once the students can only know that, okay, they just believe in them and they get into the program and they take 6 months or 1 year program. And after that, they still have a problem in getting the jobs.
Yeah.
And there's nothing new that you will be getting special jobs with BIM. What I can say is, in the next 5 years, if you don't get equipped with BIM skills and competencies, you won't be having a good job. Or you cannot be even think of jobs in the global market. Because most of the countries have already realized the benefits of BIM. And maybe 7 years ago, when I was seeing the BIM research and development was happening in maybe 15 to 20 countries, now it's more than 75 countries. You need to think about it.
Yeah.
BIM education is provided in more than 25 to 30 countries in academia. And policies has been developed for almost 10 to 15 countries. And these people have their own set of standards and guidelines. So when you are planning to get into the jobs in different countries, then you need to know what kind of BIM process they adopt, and how can you be competitive in that market. And if it's in India, I see that most of the projects the Indian market is dealing with is providing the services to the global clients, and it's mainly on the design stage. And when I say about BIM projects or any projects in Indian market, because we are not well equipped with the latest technologies. That's the key problem. And so what happens with the global companies, they just come down to the market and they say, I provide you the projects with quality, with new technologies, and can help the client. So obviously they are on the right track and they get the projects, and later the same projects are subcontracted to the Indian market. And most of the time the Indian students are getting into the projects for modelers or some other works. But I also see there is a lack in students expecting something on BIM process. And when I say students need to be educated on BIM process and workflows, so it's most of the times it's about how you educate them, how do you organize the activities for educating them, and how you bring the department students from different departments, and what kind of skills and competencies you provide them. So these are the key things, and it takes time for these things to happen.
Yes, India is having good of opportunities. As I told earlier, we are going to construct 1 lakh kilometers of national highways in the next 5 years. That is the plan of Mr. Modi. Earlier, in last 60 years, the construction was around 1 lakh kilometer. Now they want to double it. They are giving good allocation for the infrastructure projects. And the timeline also, earlier they used to give 48 months for any project. Nowadays, they are giving only 24 to 30 months for any project to get constructed. These kind of tools will definitely help the companies.
It's very much essential with latest acts like RERA.
Yeah.
They say if you don't deliver the project on time,
yes,
it's going to be trouble for most of the players in the project. So when we adopt new technologies and the process like BIM for project management or for delivering the complete project, you can actually predict the actual time for the project, for the actual cost, and you can supply the resources as per the time requirement, and quality can be assessed easily.
Scope, time, cost can be managed in an effective manner, and the projects also will be completed in time as per the government requirements. Definitely, as a Prayojana Institute, we thank you to coming in to our Bangalore Institute and giving wonderful information, which we will be sharing these videos through YouTube to lot many students and academic people. They will use this information for their learning purpose also, because they are not aware of the things, lot many people, and it will help the student community. Academic Prayojana is helping on that. How you find this initiative of a Prayojana? What you feel? last words. It will be helping us to, it will encourage us to take to the next level. So what are the initiatives? I told you about our initiative. What do you feel on that?
So before I got in contact with Ashok, then only I know this institute. That's the first contact person for me. And it was really nice discussions I have with him to understand about this institute. And after having discussions, I see there is something different when compared to other institutes. So you are really working on how to bring the industry and academia together and see to that the students fit into the industry requirements. So that's the basic thing. And most of the time, the students, even after finishing 4 years of degree, they won't be on site to know like what's happening with the project. And this level of training is very much essential for the students in the market to get into the industry.
Thanks for your
key thing I observe is the type of curriculum you have and the type of collaborations you have with the industry, policymakers and academia. So bringing all these people together is a very important thing to go further.
And happy to share that recently we went to Dayanand College and we took a practical training for the students to the project sites. So they really felt happy to see the project sites, how the projects are happening, how the industrial construction being done, how the challenges are mitigated while during the construction. We are connecting the people with the academic and the industry, so they are becoming employable. Definitely Prayojana will make a good change in coming years.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Amaranth, to coming into Prayojana Bangalore once again. We thank you again and again.
So much,
Thank you. We will stay connected with you for any queries and all. Thanks.